This is an energy read on Donald Trump. So he is fully grounded and 100% in his body, fully occupying his body and in present time. He is 100% in his false ego. He is playing a role and wearing a mask. He is a 95% narcissist. And in spite of what happened to him recently, he is in 0% fear, 0 anger, 0 rage, and 0 fury. He's 100% in his masculine and 15% in his feminine energy. Those should each be 100%. He also has only 15% shame. To sum it up, he is a narcissist with a big heart.
Welcome to the TikTok influencers you really should know about, the podcast dedicated to showcasing the remarkable individuals on TikTok who are making a genuine impact beyond just their good looks and celebrity status. From advocates for social justice to comedians who brighten our days, this podcast celebrates the diverse talents that make TikTok a vibrant community. Tune in to discover the influencers you may not have heard of yet, but you definitely should know about. Welcome back to the TikTok influencers you really should know about. And I am very excited about today's show because this is an influencer that I've just recently started following and am blown away by the videos that she posts. And I get the goosebumps. When I get the Blasdale goosebumps, that is the signs from the universe, God, my angels, I don't know, whoever. It's like, yes, this is true. This is true. And so I'm very excited to be bringing to you an influencer that I think you should know about. My guest today is Kimberly Sherry, and she is an international frequency alchemist and longevity mentor. And her TikTok page is Vibrant Longevity, the number 8. Don't worry, I'll put a link in the show notes so you can follow her and watch her amazing videos. Hey, Kimberly, welcome to the show.
It's my pleasure. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Yes. So TikTok. Did you grow up as a little kid thinking that one day you'd be speaking to millions of people on this weird platform called TikTok?
Never, not even after social media started. I've only been on here very recently on the instigation of a marketer who's helping me to promote what I do. And I was originally on Instagram for a little bit, been on Facebook forever, no, monetary results there, nor on Instagram. And then I started on TikTok, I guess about maybe May or June-ish. And it has just exploded. And so I'm quite pleased. It was the last place I ever thought I would ever be.
Well, I'm glad you're there, you're located in the United States. And so I know in the news, they're talking about the banning of TikTok, which I hope and pray that the aliens and the spaceships stop this, because we can't, I get so much of my information and inspiration and motivation from TikTok. There's some amazing creators and people like yourself who are actually really giving us, the news in some respects, but giving us insight into people. Can you just explain to people a little bit about the videos that you do, especially when you're looking into the energy of certain people, famous-ish?
Right. That's what really sort of kind of launched me. So my gift is being able to calibrate vibrational frequencies, and you can calibrate anything. And so I started calibrating some famous people. I think the first one I started with was Kamala, and that now has over 500,000 views. And so people that really helped create an interest in not only what's possible, but people started to see that they saw a similar thing, but they didn't know how to put it into words. And they go, yeah, I could feel that too. And so now they had some words or numbers to put to it. And that's really what set things off, was being able to calibrate all these people that people could relate to. They had a sense of who they were.
And now you also do this for your clients as well, correct? Who maybe they're struggling in business or in relationships and they don't know why. And so do you,
Yeah.
how do you do this? How do you proceed with that?
I tap into the quantum field if you want to know the mechanics of how I do it. That's basically what I'm doing. I realize it's a gift that not everybody can do. I live in my own little world, and so this is like normal for me. But then I get out in the real world and go, oh, everybody doesn't know how to do this. But you can measure anything. And so one of the first things I started measuring when I learned how to do this was our money frequency. And we only can manifest to the degree that our money frequency is, however high it is. And so that was one of the first things that really started to become evident, that the higher you raise the frequency, the more money you're going to make and manifest. So it's not only a high money frequency, but also are you aligned with it in your energy field? But these frequencies work with anything. They work with business. I have a client now. In fact, one of my most, I say it was the smartest client I ever had. She calibrated everything from the title of programs to the colors on her website to how many should be in a program, how much she should charge. After a couple of years, she had made over $3 million. So she just kept going with the highest frequencies. This all can relate to relationships. So it's beyond just measuring calibrations. It can go into, well, if you want to have a number to it, how many unresolved past lives do you have with someone? Whenever a relationship is crunchy, there's always unresolved underlying past lives. But then there's a lot of other people who have, high degrees of anger, rage, fury, fear. It kicks them out of their body. I've mentioned this in a lot of the reports that I did, how it kicks you out of your body. And then people are not at home to really realize what's going on in their physiology. So anything and everything can be measured.
This is phenomenal to me, and this is something that also it resonates with me because it's like I know that's true because I've had that thing where I've been at a party or a gathering and I've felt somebody come in and I was like, ooh, there's something about this energy that they have that I'm not very fond of. Same thing about when people drink. When people drink, certain people, when they get to a certain point, they can change, right? And I'm thinking, that's not you. Something else stepped in. Something is not right. So intuitively, I know these things, but it does. You're watching your videos on TikTok. It does. It just sort of clarifies and makes you feel good. Like I knew that about that person. I felt that.
Yeah.
Now,
I call it sharpening your saw. It sharpens your intuitive saw where you go, yeah, I had that same feeling. Yeah.
so you can help clients also maybe work on those skills themselves as well, developing those type of skills.
Yes, that's a private mentoring where that people learn through sort of osmosis. When I'm walking someone through their own journey of exploration, there's always things that need to be measured, removed, remeasured. And so as I'm doing this process, I'm teaching people how to do what I do. My goal in working with people is not to just come in and clean their energetic house. My goal is to teach people how to master their own energy. That's really the only way you can be empowered. Actually, learning how to calibrate, though I've discovered, is probably one of the hardest things to learn. But it's just really a matter of practice. We all have this ability. We all know when someone's standing too close to us in the grocery line. That's that inner intuitive sense, our inner knowing. And so the more we can fine tune that by listening to the subtle messages, some people are looking or listening for or hoping for the big booming message, the really obvious thing, when really the reality is it's very subtle whispers and nudges that you over time learn how to trust and pay attention to or determine what it means. So a lot of it is interpretation too.
It's just fascinating to me.
I was going to say, I wanted to share a quick miracle story, though, just to show
Yes.
other ways that it can help. And this was a woman that did find me on TikTok. I've been hesitant to share the story just yet because of I didn't want to get shut down. um, However, because the new level that I'm stepping into is about measuring our cellular light quotient. So you can measure every body system, every body organ, and then measure the cellular light quotient to know that it's functioning at its highest capacity. So anyway, this woman found me on TikTok. She has a 12-year-old daughter who has had a midline glioma, which is the C word, and we can't say. And so I instinctively knew that this was an outside interference from the dark side. Now, that's not something you can say too much about. So I gotta be a little careful about how I talk about this.
That's okay.
But
Yeah.
at any rate, it's a very fast growing, whatever problem issue. And they had it since March. This has just been in the last few weeks that we've worked with this. Every MRI that she had was worse than the last. And when I did the report that I do with her, I measure over 110 calibrations of all your body systems, body organs, and a bunch of other things. And the level of infiltration was absolutely mind-boggling. The spells, the curses, cords, angry cords from doctors, and like things that just didn't even make sense. And this midline glioma right at her crown chakra, the massive amounts of other infiltrating energies there. They had shut down all of her creative rings, her heart, her root chakra, lots of things going on. But there was one thing that not only fascinated me, but I didn't understand at the time I was doing the reading, is that she still had 100% unconditional love for herself. She's only 12 years old. She's on hospice. And that just didn't make sense to me. It's like, well, she doesn't have a heart chakra. How is this possible? And because my work is so specific, I found this unconditional love for herself in her second chakra, that's lower belly, all the way out in the 20th layer, which relates to her innate warrior. So this is a part that they didn't shut down. Maybe they don't know how, or that they couldn't shut down. So between that and having no self-loathing, I knew that was not about her. This was all about this outer
Wow.
influence. Yeah, I volunteered to just because I just wanted to reach out and just help. And so we did at the first session. By the end of the session, I could already see some light coming back into her. We did half a session. 2 days later, we did the second session. Her mother came with an MRI report, which up until now, everyone worse than the last. For the first time, and the mother was basically in tears because of what was happening. There was, the report talked about decrease, no inflammation, stabilize, words like that. And she was so blown away by the thing that that was just amazing. We did the second session, talked to her 2 days later, and she was letting me know that her daughter was now laughing more. She had a voracious appetite. I was hoping maybe she could just walk to the mailbox and maybe get a little bit of movement in because she's in a wheelchair with limited, little walk. They had her walking 2 doors down to her neighbor's house. Yesterday she told me that she's lifting her legs now. And so it's just so heartwarming to know the effect that this can have, because as many of your followers and my followers know, is that the influence that is being done by the dark side is you guys have no idea that the level of infiltration is absolutely incredible, and they're doing it right under our nose. So
Absolutely.
there's a lot of hope there. Yeah, a lot of
So
hope.
this, yeah, you know what? And we don't know this because nobody talks about it except for on TikTok. And
You can't talk about it.
you
Even
know,
there, I've had 3 videos already taken down, so I'm kind of like walking on,
yes,
and there.
you have to be careful with your words. But once you get
Yes.
past the algorithm, you're okay. People will catch it.
Okay.
Right? That's how I look
Yeah.
at it. So that's
Yeah.
beautiful. That is really beautiful. And important, it's an important reminder too that we do need to be we need to be alert. And I'm very careful with what I watch. I can't even turn on the television and watch, like, I won't watch regular TV or news or any of those things.
Yeah.
And I remember when I was younger, it was in the days of all those horror movies coming out, those really horrific movies. And all my friends would go and see them, and they go, "Come on, let's go, it's gonna be fun to get scared." And I said, "No, I don't want to have that that experience, that energy in my mind, or anything like that, because I remember as a kid accidentally watching a scene from a movie as a kid, and it really left a really horrific feeling in me.
Yeah. And once you see it, you can't unsee it.
No. So parents, please be careful with what you let your children consume. And even the things that you think are like fine and dandy. Sometimes there's subliminal things. So just go out in nature.
The spells and curses are unbelievable. Just that feeling like you have to keep scrolling. That's a spell. And, it's all meant to keep us distracted on the outside, because they know that if we go inside, that's where all of our answers are. And then we become solution oriented. And that's certainly not what they want.
And that's where all the power is as well.
All the what?
All the power is within us as well.
Absolutely.
Can't have that.
That's why the name of my book, Access Your Ultimate Power, the blueprint to infinite intelligence. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Now available in
we'll put a link. We're going to put a link to your Linktree link. We'll put that in the show notes, as well as a link to your TikTok page. Now, what I like to do, and if it's okay with you, I would love to play just one of your videos, and it's one of your most popular ones, and it's about a person who's quite famous around the world and is going to be the next president returning, right? Is it okay to play that video for folks?
Yeah. Absolutely. I really tried to be careful to play the middle ground on that one, but
you did a great job. No, you did a great job. It was really good. All right, so let me just set this up this is, again, Kimberly Sherry's TikTok page, which you can find. It's just look for Vibrant Longevity, the number 8. But don't worry, I'll have a link in the show notes. And this is a great video that you did.
So this is an energy read on Donald Trump. I appreciate your patience. I've been waiting for today. This is the day that Spirit has directed me to release this information. So happy Lionsgate Portal. If you're new to my channel, I'm Kimberly Sherry, International Frequency Alchemist, and I help rebellious truth seekers who are committed to being the change to live in their highest light quotient so we can all live long and prosper. A lot of you are curious how I do these readings, so I tap into my infinite intelligence and to the quantum field, and I calibrate. The system is outlined in my book, Access Your Ultimate Power, the Blueprint to Infinite Intelligence. It is available on Amazon. And again, I don't support politics. I don't vote. Unfortunately, Christ consciousness is not on the ballot. My only bias is towards truth. So he is fully grounded and 100% in his body, fully occupying his body and in present time. He is 100% in his false ego. He is playing a role and wearing a mask. He is a 95% narcissist. And in spite of what happened to him recently, he is in 0% fear, 0 anger, 0 rage, and 0 fury. He's 100% in his masculine and 15% in his feminine energy. Those should each be 100%. I've heard a lot of people say that they think he is a racist and a pedophile. Those both measure 0%. He also has only 15% shame. To sum it up, he is a narcissist with a big heart. So I don't think any candidate is the answer we're seeking. All of our answers are within. So on this Lionsgate portal, think about what it is that you want to be. What kind of change do you want to be for the planet? If everyone would be the change we seek, we would have a much different world.
I love that. Oh, yes. So he's basically a big narcissist, narcissist with a big heart.
Right, right. Yeah, people thought that those were opposite energies that couldn't coexist, but he's a good example of what that looks like.
Right. Just don't think he's gonna like pick you up if you fall down in front of him or anything like that. Oh my gosh. So question, who are some of the other uh people that you've tapped into and checked their energy, their frequency, some maybe big names that we might know?
Well, I did the one on P. Diddy, and I did,
Oh, you did
let's
P.
see,
Diddy.
there's so, yeah, I did. And there's so many. I see their faces. Ishmael Perez, he's our galactic historian. I did Eckhart Tolle. I did JFK Jr., Robert Kennedy Jr.
Robert, yeah.
Yeah, I did Elon Musk. I did, who else? There's a bunch. Taylor Swift was a big one.
And
Yeah.
a lot of people had been asking you. So I'm sure that people
Yeah.
on your page ask you, hey, can you do this person? Can you do that person? Was there anybody
Yeah.
that surprised you when you checked into their frequency?
Yeah. Well, I was surprised about Sadhguru. Actually, I was very sad about that because he has been taken over by the dark side. He's somebody I'd followed for a really long time, spiritual teacher, and but now he has no creative rings. He has closed heart chakra, no grounding. He's basically been taken over.
Wow.
Him and Eckhart Tolle, both.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, surprising.
And I don't have the video pulled up about P Diddy, but is it pretty much what we think it is?
Yes, yes. I did him with who's the kid? What's his name? The blonde
Justin Bieber?
singer. Yes. So I did those two together.
Wow.
And so, yeah, it's everything you think. Here is the most surprising video that I did. I did them both together purposely with Oprah and Princess Diana because it's the opposite of what you think. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. In both
Really?
in both cases, yeah.
Oh, give us a little teaser.
So we think one is alive and the other is dead, and it's the opposite.
No.
Yeah, so when you go, you'll see what the readings are. I did it.
I'm going to dig through your videos now because
Yeah,
I'll tell you something, Kimberly. Not a lot shocks me or like I mean I see things in the news. I go yeah, okay, yeah, yeah. When Princess Di was killed, when that happened, I felt it on all levels,
mm,
and I was so upset. I was so sad. I was so upset, and
mhm.
it rocked me as it did many people. And I hadn't followed the whole royal family thing, or it was just like no, that one. Prince also, his passing seemed a little suspicious to me, but
Yes.
yeah,
And Michael Jackson, same thing.
same with Michael. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So
They wouldn't play the game. Yeah.
exactly. And then
Both
so
of them were ex-witnesses, or they were witnesses at a point, you know. I grew up as a Jehovah's Witness, and so I had a special liking for both of them.
oh, I thought when you said witnesses, I thought it was to something else. I
Yeah,
thought it was to a
Jehovah's
major crime.
Witness. Yeah, yeah, no, Jehovah's Witness.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So I am going to do a deep dive into your videos and I got to find the Princess Diana and Oprah thing. I can't even say her Oprah.
Yeah, I've pinned those to the top. So I've tried to pin all the readings to the top. And then people who are readings of the light, you know, on the good side, as you might say, are in another post. And then try to also separate energy information.
Oh,
Because I
that's so
also give
good.
a lot of educational information on there about energy. Yeah.
Ah, beautiful. Well, I'm so happy that you came on the show and so that our wonderful listeners on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, they can find out about you and visit your TikTok page, but also on YouTube. My wonderful guest, Kimberly Sherry. Thank you so much for being on
Thank
the
you so
show
much,
today.
Christine. I so appreciate you inviting me here. It's really been my honor. So thank you so much for taking this opportunity.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Anytime. You can come back anytime. And
Oh,
and I also, my little intuitive thing says there's another book coming out from you. Are you working on
there
another?
is. I am. It's applying my system, this infinity system, to what I was talking about, our physiology. So this book, Access Your Ultimate Power, the follow-up book is Access Your Ultimate Health, the blueprint to youthful vitality. That's what it is.
Beautiful. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, and yes. I got the Blasdale goosebumps on that. That's
Nice.
great. That's phenomenal. Well, thank you again, Kimberly. I really
Yeah.
appreciate you spending time with us and letting our wonderful audience know about your TikTok. And everybody, I want you to go check out her page. We'll put it in the show notes. You can find that out. We'll also put a link to her website that she would like to send you to. And she's got also a special gift as well.
Yes,
That's
ma'am.
at the link tree.
Yeah, if anybody needs to make more money, yeah, it's a great energetic boost to your whole money frequency. So really take the time to listen. There's an hour-long, really thorough clearing for your money frequency, because you're only going to manifest what you're emitting. So got to erase those money vibes.
Okay, I'm doing that right after we're done talking. I'm going to go download that. You know what? I'm very happy, but you know what? I could be happier. I could be richer. It's okay.
Yeah.
Thank you again, darling. And thank you, wonderful listeners and subscribers to the show. It's the TikTok influencers you really should know about. If you want more information about the show, if you want to see all the different platforms that it's published on, you can go to the TikTokinfluencers.com. And if you want more information about me and my coaching, you can go to ChristineBlasdale.com. All of those will be in the show notes. So don't you fret. And as I say at the end of every show, make sure you keep scrolling, because you might find a creator, an influencer who you really should know about, and it's going to change your life and change your perspective in some way. And check out Kimberly Sherry's page, because you're going to love it. All right. Until next time, take care.